Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Play Fallout Nevada. We are in Salt Lake City, and we've just been to the Nuka-Cola factory over here, which is quite interesting. They want to buy our filter for 20,000 bucks, but I have a feeling we don't really want to do that because, yeah, I mean, they will be using it for producing more Nuka-Cola by, you know, just in case you didn't know, when actual soda in real life is produced, they apparently use very, very large quantities of water to do it. I don't know exactly what... Oh, we can get in here and then through there. Huh, interesting. I'm just looking for buried things, of which I don't see any. We could go in here, of course, but no. Anyway, yeah, they use large amounts of water and yada yada yada. So anyway, I'm not interested in giving these guys the filter, because I do agree with the manager, or the guy that owns the factory, in a way that increasing production of the Nuka-Cola will give more people jobs. It will bring more caravans to Salt Lake City and increase the prosperity. I agree with that. And that's probably a good thing. Well, it is a good thing. But the thing is, you know, if there's another option where people actually get to drink clean-ish water, then that's what I want to do. That is definitely what I do. Can you actually go up here? Yes, you can. Look at that. Huh, interesting. The gallows. And apparently the gallows aren't real. All the stuff is just for show, which is kind of odd, but there you go. Can we find anything here? I bet we will. No? Nothing. Interesting. No, absolutely nothing. I'm wary going too close to these cars and such because of radiation. You enter Salt Lake City's residential area. Seeing children play in the streets without a care in the world makes your eyes moist. Oh, well, that's quite interesting that they would do that, because, well, you'd think there would be many worries in a world like this. Well, they probably are, but not for children. Show me the goods! He doesn't have a lot of money. He does have the first aid. Ugh. I'm not buying that. Holy moly. Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah. Oof. See, like I said before, a good way for me to judge a NPC's prices are just to try and buy one stim pack. $450-ish is around the average price for my characters anyway, because I never invest in barter and charisma. So yeah, that's kind of like the average for my character, and that's an okay price. Below 400 is a very good price, so like 300 and something. Anything above 600 is a high price, and 838, yeah. Anything we buy from this guy will be extraordinarily overpriced. So, not really interested in that. I mean, that is, you can still sell him your stuff, and fortunately that does not get affected by their high prices. So, we can still sell that. Lunch token. Oh yeah, we could maybe get lunch from the canteen in the factory and then give that lunch to someone. I don't know. Wait a second, I don't want to sell this mute fruit because I think they might need that for the caravan. Let's see. I need healing. You'll have to pay. Oh, that's expensive. Do you make medicaments? I can make healing powders, antidotes, stimulants, and the blood purifier. But I need your own components, for mine are scarce. So what do you need? Stimulator. I'll make it if you bring me an empty Great Salt Lake, a Xander root, and a Brock flower. Great Salt Lake. It'll cost 250 bucks a dose. Okay, can you teach me how to make medicine? Well, I wouldn't mind a little extra income, but how do I know what you're gonna use your knowledge for? What if you decide to become my competitor, or even start producing drugs? And I don't want to have any problems with the sheriff. A pity. I'm assuming if you have a high enough speech level, wow, this is the ward, I guess, speech level like we do, plus a high enough charisma level, they might actually teach you stuff. He's going to tell us to stay out of there, but we can go in from the back. Stay away from there. Well, let's go in from the back then. Statue. Nothing out of the ordinary. I am really quite impressed by all the custom stuff in this mod, though. Not just, like, you know, custom NPCs and the like, but also custom graphical stuff and items and so on. It's quite impressive. Okay, so that's locked, but of course we're gonna save this first. Because if something happens, we don't want to necessarily get the blame for it. Oh, there's another exit to the right there. Really? I can't open these doors? Oh, there we go. No. Oof. Well, he doesn't see us or hear us, I guess. Shovel? Oh, this might be part of what we need for the caravan. Well, I'll have to check the list. Yeah, there we go. The Geiger counter, a first aid kit. Nice, that's a lot of stuff here. I'm playing a good guy, but I don't have any problems with stealing medical supplies and such from stores. I don't know. Don't ask me. Alright, so let's check the list one more time. Unfortunately, it's so long. Sledgehammer, I think we've sold that. I have it in a personal safe somewhere, but that's not a thing. No, gecko pelts we have a shovel, we have a first aid kit. I think we have some flares, or did we sell them all? Let me see. Oh, flares. I think I've sold them. Yeah, darn it. Well, the good thing is, it should be possible to get everything here in the city. So we need flares, and a sledgehammer. Rope, we have. Empty flask, we have. Metal scrap, we don't have that. Rubber boots, yep. Wrench, I believe so. And weapon parts, we need to find those. So, not that many things we're missing now. That's pretty nice. What's this? Like a library? It is a library. Wow. That's awesome. Okay. You cannot get there. Hello. Old man Vernon. Welcome to my humble dwelling. Oh. Diogenes would surely find the humble dwelling part funny. Ha! If you knew more about him, young man, you'd understand that the humble dwelling of Diogenes was quite sufficient for him and the conditions he lived in. The climate, the scenery, the company. But there are other reasons for living in a barrel. To him, it was about rebellion and self-expression. Sure, but what are you getting at? The point is, you shouldn't belittle yourself when you have quite a decent place to live and belong to an active part of the city's population. But I am the poorest man in the city. There you go again. Well, okay. Let's change it to I am the poorest among the active part of the city's population then. Are you trying to say that the tramps in the streets are not part of the city? Indeed they are not. The city is bigger than they are. Beggars only bring disgrace to it. But the beggars are a direct result of the city's actions. They were spawned by the city and will be consumed by it if the situation changes for the better. They are on the same level as polluting emissions, like smoke coming out of a plant's chimney. It's not part of the city anymore. So you say that beggars are not part of the city? That is absurd. How so? Don't you think that if a part of the whole becomes something big and independent, it stops being a part and thus becomes another whole, but the whole, which it's not a part of anymore, does not depend on it? Yeah, you're right. So we have just learned that... Oh, for the last few hours you have been having a visionary discussion with a bookworm about dividing a whole into parts and assembling parts into a whole. 750 experience. And thus, the whole, still being a part of the lesser whole, continues to be a whole, while at the same time being a part of the other whole, as the other whole remains a part of that whole. An excellent conclusion. An excellent conclusion. I see your deduction skills are unmatched. Quite so. It was a pleasure arguing with you. Goodbye. That was a cool byproduct of the speech skill we have. The thing is, how long did that take? Because, well, a few hours apparently. But what I'm also shocked by the way, is that I was going like, oh, Salt Lake, you know, it's gonna have broken English again, like in the factory. But this was pretty much excellent translation. I haven't seen such a large collection of books anywhere else. Where did the books in your library come from? Well, I gathered these books from around the ruins with my own hands, believe it or not. What a great example of selfless devotion to culture and education. You're a remarkable person. A weird fetish to have for a resident of a destroyed city. Collecting knives would be a more useful occupation. Yeah, what a great example. Vernon chuckles. That's rather an overstatement. Besides, it wasn't until later in my life that I began craving for literature. It took me several years to be able to see thoughts and ideas in writings instead of viewing books purely as entertainment. So, collecting books wasn't originally your own idea? It was a task given by our Mormon community. The Salt Lake City Public Library was destroyed during the nuclear attack. The fires that followed burned down many of the private libraries as well. The Mormons decided it was important to preserve the surviving remains of the pre-war wisdom. Nowadays, the main bulk of the archives is kept within the Mormon Church, and the books you see here are a private collection for internal use only, so to speak. I see. You seem way more intelligent than other people in this city. Perhaps you know the history of the place? I sure do. I'll be happy to tell you about the city and the history of the establishment. If you have time, of course, as it's quite a long story. Please tell me about it. Here it goes then. It looks as if he's telling a bedtime story to the children. This is a tale of great people and their hard work, or everyday work. I have a feeling this is a trap, so we can't finish that mission. Oh, Salt Lake City was built before the war. It was a big city by American standards. There were lots of people, trains moving up and down the railroad, factories blowing smoke. The city was bustling and constantly in motion. After a while, a small gambling area was set up with not very expensive casinos and restaurants, which had big signs and shining corbels. The city was by no means clean, for it was still an industrial center. It produced electricity, ran factories, mined salt and copper. There was even a military base with its own airfield in the north of the city. And then, God save us, radio stations began screaming about the impending nuclear threat. In a panic, residents lined up to take shelter in the large underground vaults, safe havens built by the Vaultec Corporation. Small pool construction companies like Pricer Incorporated began making private mini-vaults designed for families. There are hundreds of them in Salt Lake, scattered in the basements of various buildings. Then everything calmed down. Armed conflict subsided and people began to forget about the bombs. No one knows who fired the first shot. It could have been the Russians or the Chinese or even us. It doesn't matter now. The past is dead and gone. The most far-sighted hid in a large vault in Wasatch Ridge to the east of here, while the rest took refuge in their family vaults and basements. Those who lived in this part of Salt Lake City were luckier, as the bombs fell mostly in the northern area where the military base was located. The local climate smoothed out the effects of the explosions, washing away the nuclear fallout with fall rains and then blanketing with snow. People don't come out out of their vaults until 10 or 30 years after the war. After all, no one liked to spend their lives in metal walls. Those who were braver went out first, while others took their time. The last of the remaining vault dwellers had seen the sun only a few years ago. Those who emerged first immediately became aware that the outside world was no longer safe. Radiation and mutated animals terrified the inhabitants. Some of the people were not of good intentions either, so a council was called and a sheriff was elected, charged with building a new society on the ruins of the old city. The sheriff took up the fight against crime. He gathered a team of determined people around him and helped to strengthen many businesses and organizations. Of course, it was not an easy task. The city is fragile, so to speak. Every prominent figure here is a pillar on which it stands. Should one of the pillars collapse, the whole city will follow. I hope you find my story interesting. Would you be so kind to offer me a cup of tea for the effort? Oh, 50 experience. Gladly. Oh no, I don't have money with me. 21,000. Gladly. Here, $10 as a tip. Thanks. I like this guy. Do you accept rare books and magazines? I have plenty of books, but not periodicals. You see, I'd like to get better chronicle the events of the last month before the Great War. If you can find anything on this subject, I'd be happy to exchange it for one of my books. I think I found what you were looking for. A bundle of pre-war newspapers. Vernon takes a good look at the articles. Ah, Denver Post, isn't it? Goodness, it's been more than 50 years and they're still readable. All right, you can pick something from my library in exchange for this. Something valuable. Well, you obviously don't have anything more valuable than books here. Okay, let's see what you have. What about a lesson? Surely you can teach me something. Let's see if he can teach us something. Teach you something? Well, I taught writing and mathematics to many residents of the city, but people usually stop there. These days, people are more practical and prefer not to waste their time on something of dubious benefit. Secrets of gambling. We're not really going to gamble, so let's get a book. My library is the biggest in the city. Tell me what you need and I'll try to find it. Exchange for the book on electronics, manual first aid, scientific books, dealing with traps. Yeah, energy weapons. Oh, I see. There aren't many of them left nowadays, are there? And not much detailed information about it around, and to think that once there was a whole magazine series about that exact topic called Super Science. Indeed, I'm parting with the only issue I have here. Yes, this will work. Let's trade. Thank you, Wanderer. It was a pleasure dealing with you. I hope we have, we can still get something from the book. I think we can. I wonder, was it really so hard to find newspapers in this city? It sure was. Firstly, before the war, Salt Lake was a huge city with socially minded citizens, so newspapers were in high demand. Secondly, newspapers degrade quickly, especially in a humid climate like ours. I've already gone through all the dispensers in the area, barring those in the radioactive zones and uninhabited districts. I mostly likely wasn't the first to do so because I couldn't find anything of value. Alack and alas. I see. Well, goodbye. Alright, excellent. Our energy weapons is... Oh yeah, 35. Of course, I thought I already dumped stuff into it. But yeah, that's gonna work. Nice, there we go. Super science! A lot of information about energy weapons. 41. Wow, that was actually quite very worth it. Youth these days. Is he gonna say stay away from there? No. Okay. I'm not gonna go through his stuff here. Except this. Okay, stay away from there. It's better to drink Nuka-Cola than water. Ooh, they might... Oh, I've just realized something. The factory might be putting something into the Nuka-Colas. To make them want to drink it instead of water. And buy more Nuka-Cola. Don't bother me. Oh, that's a cool chest of drawers. I love this song. I'm so happy it's part of this town. I would like to further the time, but I'm kind of afraid we're gonna miss that. I need a vessel. Well, we don't want that because we need 2 empty ones for the caravan. Okay, let's see. There's the sheriff. You need something? Who are you and what are you doing here? I was on a caravan until it got raided. I'm just another street bum. I work for the sheriff, but he doesn't take out-of-towners. I'm just trying to get by from day to day. That's too bad. Hey, if you know of anyone that's hiring, can you pass my name along? I'm good with my hands, and I'm not picky. Right, see you. Ah, another unemployed man. I wonder what all of these unemployed people will be useful for. Don't tell me it's going to be for the uranium mine. Okay. There's something... What? I'm getting a message on my phone. I think it's a frickin' ad. Okay, let's see. Edge junk, okay. We need metal parts, though. I don't think I've ever seen metal parts. Oh, already carrying too much. Okay, holy moly. It's better to relocate to Vegas. Refrigerator, nice. Stay away from there. Don't bother me. Stay away from there. Stay away from there. Don't bother me. Okay. Alright, so let's go to the sheriff. I really need another store where I can sell stuff. That's cool. Is that the sheriff? Beagle. No, that's gonna be the sheriff, right? Yeah, the sheriff. Armorer. Oh, he might get stuff. No discussions without his approval. What brings you here? If you come to the sheriff, he's in his office. I'm guessing he's gonna have a talking head. Do they have any prisoners? Not that I can see. Oh, talk. Excuse me, what is this place? I really should do something with education around here if people can't even read the sheriff's sign at the entrance. Oh, so it's the sheriff's office, and you are... I'm the sheriff himself. My name is Burton Hickok, but people sometimes call me Whip. And to immediately answer the next question, yes, my ancestor is that Hickok. And, yes, I bring order with a whip and a pistol if necessary. Okay, Sheriff Burton, everything is clear. Talk. How's it going, Sheriff? More or less all right, I guess. Anything specific? The city lives its ordinary life. The population does not complain. Everyone knows their place and somehow get along. Okay. I have to tell you something important. Really? What is it? I was able to get a filter for the Artesian Tower. Can you tell me who would be the best option to sell it to? To me. May I ask why? I thought the Nuka-Cola factory needed it more, for example. That's right. Our city already has problems with healthcare and clean water. The ability to generate a lot of clean water could provide a real scourge for the city and provoke a lot of conflicts, if put in the wrong hands. What conflicts? Between whom? For example, between the general population and the factory. If we give the filter to the city, the factory will suffer a serious loss of profits, which will also affect the jobs. Given that the factory is the industrial base for the city and the main local enterprise, nothing good will come out of it. The worse the situation of the factory, the worse the situation for the population. Then why not give the filter to the factory? Because the factory will seize the water supply, using it for business and not for the benefit of the population. Many would be outraged by that. I suggest to find a neutral side that would equalize the situation. I'm the sheriff. I'm that side. Sell the filter to me and such problems will be avoided. No, I'm not interested in the price. I'm interested in how he will avoid this. What price would you pay? 10,000. I can't get more from the treasury. Our city is not that rich. The factory will probably offer you more, but I've already told you how it could end. Think about it. I'll think about it and make a decision later. It's up to you, but you better consider my words. Okay. I need some serious work, you know what I mean. There is actually something I'm not capable of doing myself, but I am not sure you would be capable either. I thought that guy said he doesn't hire outsiders. I've seen a lot during my wanderings and got myself out of a lot of sticky situations. I would really like to help you. Look, you're a smart man. If you need someone for some wet work, this is your chance. I have more than 65 notches on my gun. I do not advise to reject my proposal. If you need wet work done, I have 22 dead aliens from Area 51 on my tab, for example. If you really are an excellent shooter, you might be able to stand up for yourself. That's great. What is the problem that needs to be solved? First, a bit of history. So you know that what hole you're about to stick your nose in? Once there was a civil war in the Salt Lake, and the criminal underworld... God, my English is broken today. And the criminal underworld thrived in it. It was a difficult time for the city. I decided not to stand in it any longer and deal with the bastards. And? I knew the approximate number of the perps, so I took a squad of loyal boys with me and we raided all their hot spots. The captives cracked out and gave away their accomplices. As it turned out, sometimes it is useful to cross a line. And? We caught every member of the gang and put them on public display in the square. The city learned the lesson well. Most scumbags hung on the gallows for 3 days. Those who were involved but did not deserve to die were exiled from the city. We haven't heard from them in a long time, until recently. So what do they do now? We managed to nearly forget that they existed, not counting some occasional deaths on the roads southwards, but in the last couple of years we have been hearing more and more about the Provo area, especially the attacks on caravans and travelers. Sometimes these attacks don't make any sense. I think they're trying to get back at us. But they don't come to the city? They're still too afraid, I think, but apparently they got bored with farming. The gang occasionally does small raids and robberies on the outskirts of the city, but there is a guy who holds the gang together. Who? Gary Gilmore. The records of this offender are so diverse it makes you wonder. For me, it's obvious that he is clearly not the right in head. He deserves to die like no other, but, and this is important to me, our city folks must witness his death. And what stops you? A dozen thugs in the unfamiliar ruins of Provo, where there are traps everywhere. We would lose a lot of men trying to assault them in there. It is much easier to slip in alone. But I need my men here, so I've been looking for a mercenary brave and experienced enough to bring Gilmore back. If not alive, at least to deliver his head. A serious job. Is there a serious payment involved? For our city, a bounty of $3,000 per head is pretty serious. Oh, but only for Gilmore, of course. For the living criminal, I'll pay twice as much. I advise you to take your time and think carefully about it. Evaluate the situation first, then make a decision. Okay, I'll do this job. Okay. Yeah, but how are we gonna get him alive? That's a question. Stay away from there. No? Okay. That's interesting. Why can we use that wagon? Huh. Let's see. Oh yeah, there is something there. And a crowbar here, which we cannot take. We already have one. Man, we have a lot of stuff. Come on. There we go. Not exactly a gag, but pretty good nonetheless. Oh, that's another club, which I cannot pick up at the moment. We really need a... We need a trader. Let's do that now. We need to find that. Is that a likeness of the sheriff, or is there a likeness of, like, I don't know, Jesus or something? Alright, let's see. Excuse me. How can you? Ah, you should have seen him in action. Citizen. Okay. What is going on here? Holy moly, these guys, hate each other's guts. Who the hell are you? The woman is in tears. Why are you here? Why are you crying? It's Merc. He's always yelling at me. That bastard. I've done so much for him and all he thinks about is himself. All me and me all the time. And you, of course, give him a reason to yell at you? Why does he do this? A typical guy with big balls, and he wants everyone to know it. He thinks he's a master and a big man, when in fact he can't even fix the closet door. Is he always so aggressive? No, only when he's drunk, and that happens almost every day. When he's sober, it's even pleasant to talk to him. He can make jokes and say some kind words. Have you tried to ask for help? Who in town will help a person in need? The sheriff does not want to get involved into a family's affairs, and neighbors don't want to make enemies. Besides, what can they do? Come with a gun and shoot him in the head? That's extreme and dangerous. You are dumb. Cheers won't help you. Okay. I'll help you then. Why? Why do you want to get involved? I want to make a profit. I just want to help. I can't stand women's tears. You need help, don't you? Why do you care about my motives? How noble of you. I hope you have enough heart for it. Don't worry. Do you have any idea what to do? An idea? I was hoping you'd come up with one yourself. Alright, I have a bottle of poison moonshine, but I can't do it. Besides, he might see through it, because I've never given him such a drink. Something else? Well, the local police are unlikely to interfere in our family's affairs. If it comes to a fight, you don't need to worry about them, just so you know. Give me that. She puts out the bottle from her stash. Here, I hope you have the guts to do it. Well, we're probably overloaded now. Yeah, we are. Poison moonshine. Deadly poison. Holy moly. Okay, so just wishes to poison him. I don't get it. Who the hell are you? What the fuck do you want from my wife? Your new neighbor. I just wanted to say hi. I'm her consciousness. I let her cry on my shoulder. Yeah, I'm your new neighbor. Ah, neighbors are good. Hey, idiot. Give me the food. We have guests. What? You whore, I said get me food and some booze. Forget it. I have some on me. No. Grab his arm and pin it behind him. Do you know how many people I've killed while wandering the wastes? Why do you treat her like she's your property? I am a man, not a rag. Okay, okay, Macho, calm down. A real man shouldn't beat women. Looks at you with a stone look, opening his mouth. To insult me in my house? What an asshole you are! Do you know how many people... Grab his arm and pin it behind him. That's not gonna work. Hey, take it easy, I didn't do anything. A minute ago you were acting so tough. What happened? What the hell do you want from me? Do not pretend to be a fool, you filth. Your wife can't stand you. This is my wife. Who the fuck are you to... Shut up and listen to me. I'll see... If I see you hitting your wife one more time, it will be the last day of your life. Okay, I get it. I get it, no problem. Well, we'll see. I'll be checking on your miserable family. I get it, okay? Good. Now get sober, you fucking drunkard. The drunkard is so scared that he will remember this lesson for long. You gained 1,000 experience points, and apparently we lost the poison bottle, so that's good. And we leveled. Thank you very much for watching. I hope I'll see you next time. A big thank you to my patrons as well. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next part. Bye-bye.